Alright, if you are watching this video, it's just because you didn't do well on the little quiz we had last week when we tested about chemical and physical changes. So if you'll just look through this with me, we won't go too long because this is really the hardest thing we'll do. Just found this quick little thing on the internet. So first off, you need to know what a physical property is. So it's something you can observe with your senses, like you touch, taste, hear, those things. And then number 2 says determine without destroying matter. I don't really like that word. You cannot create or destroy matter, even in a chemical reaction or anything like that. So I will say changing. Alright, so a chemical property over here indicates how a substance reacts with something else. So if it ever uses that word, then for sure it's a chemical change. Another word for reacts would be like burns or rusts or oxidize or something like that. Number 2 says matter will be changed into new substances after the reaction. So if it changes what it is, then we for sure have gone through a chemical change. So real quick, identify the following as a chemical or physical property. So if we can observe it once again with our senses, then we know it's a physical property. So my eyes will tell you if something's blue. Alright, that's physical. Density is something that we can measure with our senses, I guess. It takes mass divided by volume. But to observe it, we don't change matter at all. So that's physical. Flammability, or it burns. Alright, this requires for us to know that we light it on fire, and that certainly changes. So put a C for chemical. Solubility, that one's a tricky one. When something dissolves, it's still there. It was a large chunk, it's just gone into small chunks that we can't see. But it's still the same stuff, it's just smaller. So if it's still the same stuff, that is physical. Reacts with acid, there's our red flag, I mean that's chemical. Supports combustion. Combustion is a type of reaction, so that's chemical. Sour taste, we can observe that with one of our senses, which is taste, so that's physical. Coming over here, melting point. Melting point is just the temperature at which something melts. So it's still something, it's just not a solid anymore, so it's not really changed. Reacts with water, that's a dead giveaway. Hardness, we can feel that with our hands or our sense of touch, so that's physical. Boiling point, any of these are just temperatures that certain things do certain changes, but they aren't really reacting with anything, they're just melting and or boiling, so that's physical. Luster means how shiny it is, so we can observe that with our eyes, that's physical. Odor, I actually don't like smell, but in this instance we'll say that's physical. Reacts with air, that is a chemical property as well. Alright, so let's go to the next page. And hopefully, by the way, on this page you got the idea that if you can observe it and the thing doesn't really change, then it's a physical property. Okay, next up we have chemical and physical changes. A physical change is a change in size, shape, or state. No new substance is actually formed. A chemical change, a change in the physical and chemical properties, so that's what we're mainly looking for here. And a new substance is formed, like ashes when you burn something. Alright, so here we go. When something dissolves in water, it's still there, so we know that that is in itself a physical change. Tarnishes is when silver reacts with oxygen to make silver oxide. Alright, so if there's a reaction to tarnish, chemical. An apple is cut, that's a change in size. Heat changes water to steam, that's still water, or it's a change in state, so that's physical. There's our word react, so that's chemical. Rusts is the same as reacting with oxygen, that's physical. Alcohol evaporates, that's like it boiling, so that's chemical. Ice melts, it's water when it's ice, it's water as a liquid, so that's physical. I don't know why it changes black in that corner. Milk sours, alright, this is no longer milk, it's now gross, so some sort of reaction has happened, so that's chemical. Dissolving, please make sure you know that's physical. Wood rots. Anytime something sours or rots, that's a chemical breakdown of its compounds. Pancakes cook. We're using heat to cause a chemical reaction to change. If you don't believe me, drink pancake mix and eat a pancake and tell me they taste the same. Alright, grass grows. That's kind of a tricky one. It's still grass, it's getting longer, but that is caused by a chemical reaction. I don't know what on this worksheet they would say. I'm going to say that one's just dumb. A tire is inflated, still a tire, still full of air. Physical. Food is digested, that is a reaction. Paper towel absorbs water, that's just a physical property, like you're just being wet. Or we could say a physical change or a chemical change. Okay, next up, if you would go ahead and it says, can you recognize the chemical and physical changes that happen all around us? If you change the way something looks but haven't made a new substance, a physical change has occurred. If the substance has been changed into another substance, a chemical change has occurred. Alright, so you're just going to put a P or a C along here, and then we'll go over it just in a second. So go ahead and pause this. Okay, we'll go quick. This is just physical, chemical, because it's rusting. Change in size is just physical. If light is given off or produced, that is certainly a chemical reaction. Now that's different than flipping a light switch, but when we mix things and we give off light, there we go. Alright, we have this word reacts, so chemical, mixing salt, that's physical. Chocolate syrup is dissolved, that's physical. A marshmallow is toasted over a campfire, that goes through changes. So it is a chemical reaction. Alright, we're going to wrap that up, and I have a little worksheet for you to do to see how you're doing. So come up and grab that when you're done.